What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the scripting tutorial today. We're going to be learning about functions and instances. I'm combining these both in one video to get the most out of it. If you haven't seen my other video, I suggest you check it out, especially if you're a beginner scripter. It will help you with scripting a lot. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So first, insert a part into your workspace, doesn't matter what you call it. Then insert a script and remove this print. Alrighty, so first we need to reference our part. So you learned this in the last tutorial. We are setting a variable to this part, so it's to be referenced later. Now I'm going to teach you what functions are. So here, let me set it up. So this is considered a function, okay? So you simply say function to tell the script that you're making a function, and then you name what the function is called, and then you put these parentheses. So a function is, think of it kind of like a variable, but it's like a line of code. So I could put like changing the brick's color, transparency, and whatnot. And then what I could do is run it down here with one line. So like all the code I put inside of here would run by just saying that, okay? So, for example, if I say, subscribe to my channel, which you should do, by the way, if you have not already, it will not run yet. I only defined the function by doing that line of code. I have not actually ran the function, and to run the function, you simply run the name here. So you're kind of snapping this to a function. And to run the function, you put this with the parentheses to tell ROBLOX API, or to tell the script, not API, to run the code. Right. So the code inside of the function is subscribe to my channel. As you can see, it printed that into the output. So you can do a lot of things with functions. It makes your code much more neater, and things like that. So, it will also tie in with instances a little bit. We'll get into that a lot more. So let's go ahead and use an example with a function, and it's going to make a door. So first we want the function door open, and we're going to define some things. Brick color, gives brick color dot new. Let's do the sage green. So this will be the door opening position, and it makes our code much more neater, like I said. So we're referring to the property brick color, so oops, right here, and we are telling the script to get a new brick color, and what that new brick color will be. And then equals 0.7, and then parta anchored is true, parta can collide equals false. So here we are referencing the transparent property, and we are setting a value, so 0.7 to make it look more see-through. I went over this in my last tutorial, so if you'd like to check it out, please do. We reference properties there. Alrighty, so then we can simply print door has open. Now, another thing print's really good for is to ensure your script works. So if you find there's an error or something's not working that you want to work, put prints in your script to see where the script goes wrong, like where the script ends and doesn't run. So like if this does not print, then I know something's wrong after I run the code. So it maybe prints something else, but it won't print this specifically. So yeah, now we can do door close. So instead of repeating this many times and making our script look kind of not clean, we can instead make it look better. So we can simply do a new brick color. So let's do really red to indicate it is closed, and then transparency, we simply have to reverse it back to 0, and then made true. I still want my anchored property to be true, so we're not going to mess with that. Then we can simply do print door has closed. Okay, so these are two functions, but nothing is going to happen yet until we actually run them. So let's first run door open. Actually, I want to wait 10 seconds, door open, and then, so the wait, basically the script is, we're telling the script to wait 10 seconds before running this line of code here, and then we can simply do door, then we can wait another 10, we can wait 6 seconds, I'm gonna wait 6 seconds, and then do door closed. So we are now telling the script to run this line of code inside of our function, and we can run it as many times as we want, and we only have to say this one little line of code. So it makes things a lot more simpler to do. So I'm also going to scale my little door here, just so it actually, looks like a door. If you want to name it door, simply what you have to do, you'd have to change all of this to door and change this property to door. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste time. So let's go ahead and test this out to see if it works. So as you can see, the script is waiting 10 seconds. As you can see, the door is open and it is printed. Door has opened, and then there you go, door is closed. So you can run it as many times as you want, and that's the good thing is functions. You wouldn't have to constantly copy and paste this code so many times. You can simply do door open, wait, door closed, So things like that are really useful. We'll get into things like looping much later. So, yeah. Alrighty. So you can leave this if you want, it doesn't matter. I will disable the script. So that does not run. Alrighty, so now we can add another script, and I actually want this to be in our workspace, and this is going to be called part insert. So always name your scripts, it's just for better organizing, so you know which script is what, because if you just have a bunch of script, you're not going to know what the script actually does, and if you're making a game, it's really important to have things like folders and whatnot. I'll get into organizing much later. Anyways, so here, I'm going to give an example of instances, and then I'm going to run through it. So, basically, instancing is like inserting something, okay, to put it really simply. So, here, I'll just write a line of code. Equals instancing. Alright, so let me just make sure, and then, let's do this. Just so you have an idea of actually what I'm doing. Whoops, did not mean to have quotation marks there. Alrighty. Okay. There you go. So, alright, cool. So, let me explain this. So, basically, instance.new basically means we're creating a new instance. So, a script, or literally anything here, is considered an instance. So here, we define a variable, right? We put local part, and we explain what that variable is. And in this case, it's going to mean instance.new, and then so we're basically referring to this new instance with this variable. So here, in these little properties, we're referring to this instance. So, I will go through this a bit more. So, we snap it to a variable, right? And then we tell this variable, I want to insert a new instance. We tell the script, I want to insert a new instance, right? And it's important snap it to a variable so we can actually refer to it and then we can change the properties and whatnot. So instead of just saying instance.new part, workspace like that, you can instead snap it to a variable, and it's much easier, and it's also good practice. So you simply say instance.new because you're telling the script you want to create an instance and you want to create a new instance. Then you need to tell the script what instance you want to create. There's many instances here, but I'm just going to stick with part, which is basically a basic brick. Okay, and then here this is basically an argument in these parentheses. We are separating and making like a string. Okay, so we are separating part from the next word here, and this next word is going to be workspace. Okay, because we're telling the script where the script wants to place the part. Because if the script doesn't know where to place the part, it's simply not going to work. Okay, so the script does not make assumptions here. You actually have to tell it stuff. So we are telling the script, hey, I want you to insert the parts into the workspace so that it is, visible on the base plate and whatnot. So you can also do it part of parent equals game to workspace, but this is just much easier. Now from here, you can give the part a name. So let's say I want to name it part 1. You can give it a brick color. You can basically change any of the parts properties from there. So maybe I want to make it more transparent. Maybe I want to change the position. And so you don't see it in a random position, do give it a position. So what I like to do is, like I said, duplicate the current part and just move it. Grab the position from the property here and paste it into this argument. So there's 3 arguments here. So you have the first one, the second one, and then the third one, all separated by commas. So we're telling the script we want to make a new position. It's vector, and then obviously the argument is the 3, and then obviously no one. So yeah. So now if we were to actually run the script, we should see a new part that looks like the properties. So as you can see, the part plops into the workspace. It is named part 1, and it is transparent, and it has the position I want, and it has the transparency that I want. So yeah, it will not have the exact position to the sizing of the part, but because this is obviously much bigger, and positioning just change on size as well, but it has the general, positioning, so that's good. So yeah, that's instancing. If you have any questions, ask on my Twitter. So now we're going to combine functions and instancing to make, what game could we make with this, honestly? I don't know. Something easy, of course. We could make I guess, I don't know what I want to make. That's me. We'll just insert a bunch of parts into workspace, I guess, or something. We can make like a power that just inserts. So here, alright, we'll keep this part and we'll insert several parts into the workspace. So go ahead and get rid of this part insert script, and go ahead and insert another part into workspace. I want to keep this simple, so go ahead and name this part 1 so the script does not get confused. And then we'll go ahead and name this part 2 and then part 3. Whoops, I named this. Okay. Well, I'll just swap it around. That way part 3 is here, and then this is, okay. Now I have 2 parts named part 3. Okay, I have to make a decision here, for once in my life. Parts 2, and then part 3. So notice how I did have a space in these 2, and I can now practice your variables. So let's say, so yeah, this is my buildable tower. So what I'm going to actually do is make a script called notes. So script, I will be disabling the script so that it does not cause any problems and error and whatnot. And this is just going to be called notes so I can get the positioning of each of the parts. And so here's another thing. If you do 2 dashes, you can actually just do notes. None of this will be recognized by Lua, and you can kind of describe things or do whatever you want. So it's a really nice tool. So first part position equals that, and then second part position equals third part position equals, and then it's not vital you do this, but I like to stay more organized with my code. Anyways, so what I'll be doing is inserting a script into the workspace, calling this brick insert. Alrighty. So what I'll be doing is actually moving these like over here. Yeah. Let's do that. I love that. Anyways, so you can simply put them over here. I just use this as like my little template. So just put it to the side. Here. And the reason I call them parts so I don't get confused. I do that a lot. So it's not important you name any of these actually. I forgot to tell you that. But it's just so I have a basic understanding of what I want to do. So yeah. I will also be putting the size. Oh, actually, no, I don't need that because it'll be right there. Anyways, let's go to reference the instance now. So let's go ahead and do part 1 equal. Let's actually do this into a function. Part 1 insert. So we'll be describing this function as part 1 insert and be referring to it as such. And then the code inside of here will simply be local part 1 equals instance.new part. So we're telling script what we want to insert, and then a workspace. Okay. Whoops, I don't need this extra parenthesis. Anyways, so now we'll change this part.name equals inserted part 1, and then part oh, forgot quotation marks. Whoops. My brain is being a bit funky today. I don't like it. Alright, part 1 dot position equals vector 3 dot no, and then I can take from my notes the positioning, and then we also need to change the size and color. So let's go and do part 1 for color. Script color dot new really black. Let's do that. And then I don't think I show size, so we're gonna refer to the size property here, and we're going to change the size. So it's actually quite simple. It's similar to position. So size equals vector 3 dot new, and then we can get the size from the part right here. There we go. And then that's quite simple. So now we'll get to the other function, which is going to be part 2 insert. We can do local part 2 equals instance new part and then workspace, and then simply part 2 dot name equals inserted part 2 dot position equals vector 3 new. And then the position 2 dot color. What do I do? I do the color. Doesn't matter what you do. It goes older. Let's do that. And then part 2 dot size equals vector 3 dot now. Gonna go here and get the size. Did I get the wrong size for the other one? I don't believe I did. Okay. It's not that much of a difference. Okay. So here we have that. Anyways, function part 3 insert local part 3 equals instance new parts workspace part 3 dot name equals inserted part 3, and then part 3 position 3 dot now. And by the way, all the sizes for the parts can be the same. The only thing that matters is position. Dot brick color equals brick color dot new. Maybe will or not. Part 4 dot size equals vector new 5.115. There we go. So now we need to run all this code, right? So you can see why functions is very useful. My muscle memory is a bit off because I'm so used to referring to like for between service, but yeah. So let's go ahead and now let's do a wait 15 seconds, and then part 1 insert. Now actually what you can do is just simply copy and paste this, and then go ahead and simply do this. There you go. So now let's go ahead and play our game and test this out. Alrighty, so in 15 seconds, the parts should insert. Yeah. There you go. So as you can see, they inserted. One more thing I actually forgot to add is the anchored property, warps. So go ahead and just do _ anchored equals true. So let's go ahead and do that, and then simply that. But anyways, the reason they didn't maintain position was because of the anchored property. So that's why they kind of all stacked up on each other. Well, in this part ain't anchored, whatever. There you go. And as you can see, they now have their position. They are in there. So that's what you can do with functions. It's much easier because instead you would have to put all of this code, and instead you can cleanly do it. And if you need to edit stuff, you can just go through in the functions. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, comment below what you think, and yeah, enjoy.